Alright, guys, welcome back to another episode of This or That. I'm Fike, and I got my co-host here, Logan. And today with us, we got
Leo Zapata.
He's a fellow student here at UT Austin. That's one thing we're gonna try and do a lot. Bring in fellow students that have got something going on that want to share with the rest of the world. So, Leo, who are you? What do you do? Let's hear a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so obviously, like I just said, my name's Leo. I am now a senior at UT Austin, and I'm an Austin luxury realtor and an assistant also for the Eric Moreland Group here in Austin, Texas. So what that essentially means is I go check out 5, 10, $15 million houses and pretty nice stuff. Back around a year ago, I also used to be a leasing agent, so I would help students here at UT Austin kind of just find apartments and condos and houses and all that. So,
and I feel like that's kind of a little popular here at UT. I have a few friends who have done that, where like when you are a leasing agent and you get someone to sign a contract, you get like a bonus with that.
Oh my god! And honestly, so have you guys noticed how much they've been building? How many buildings they've been building around West Campus? There's like 4 or 5 right now being built, and it's crazy.
The Rambler is like signing people out
already
for leases, and it's
Rambler,
not even built yet.
Yeah, hasn't even been built yet, and they've already like signed the entire building.
Yeah.
But back to like how much we get paid, like it's honestly pretty nice. So it's like $500 per person.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was less than that.
Yeah, no, it's nice.
That's badass. Okay.
And it's like you guys are in a fraternity, like you can literally just get all those guys and then just sign them right away.
And then you just go. And you're in Beta, right?
Yeah.
So how is that? How has it affected you coming into the university with your social life and like building connections and stuff?
Yeah. So honestly, it's been life changing. Whenever I came to UT Austin, I knew I wanted to surround myself like with a group of people, but I didn't think fraternity life was gonna be it, because I don't know if I told you all this, but like I didn't get accepted into UT Austin.
Oh shoot!
Yeah.
So okay,
you got to fight your way.
I got capped my year going into my freshman year in college.
Oh, what university did you end up?
I went to UT Tyler, and so I went through the whole cap process. So the cap process is basically you go to a UT affiliated university with UT Tyler, UT Arlington, UTSA, just like that, and then you basically get a 3.2 GPA or above and get 30 credit hours, and then they accept you automatically into UT Austin
for your second year.
Yeah,
and I've always said I think that's a good deal because you get to go to school for a cheaper tuition and then get the same degree as everybody
100%.
else. So it's like no brainer. I kind of wish
that
I did cap.
That's cap, bro.
Did you get into a UT?
Yeah.
Oh, what? Come on.
Yeah.
No, but for me it was nice because I lived in Longview. Well, I'm from Longview.
Wait, you actually? I know where Longview is. That's crazy. We have a couple. We have a guy in the frat who's from Longview.
Oh wow, most people actually don't know where Longview is.
No, it's like East Texas. Yeah.
Yeah. So UT Tyler's only 30-minute drive, and I would just commute back and forth, so I didn't have to pay for rent or anything.
There you go. I mean, that obviously cuts a lot of the costs.
It is. Yeah.
I mean, here, bro, it's
expensive.
What were the cap options like? It was like UT Tyler, UTSA.
Or did you just tell you?
I honestly, I knew I was going to go to UT Tyler immediately because it was just the closest thing to me, and a lot of people from my high school, I come from a 5A high school, a lot of them were going to UT Tyler. Not even for a cap, but just because. And so I kind of found my own group that was also cap, and we all transferred in here together.
So you didn't come alone?
I didn't come alone.
That's good.
Like 10 people, so it's really nice.
That's a lot. Yeah. So how would you say like the Greek life has impacted you like academically and socially? Because I feel like when I first came here, first semester freshman year, like I kind of got lost in the sauce, if you will. So just the partying, like there were points where like I would have to remind myself that I go to school.
No, I agree with you on that. I think for me, my grades were better during pledgeship.
That's insane.
Honestly, I think that's because I was just busier. With pledgeship, you're always doing something.
You have a set schedule.
You have a set schedule. You know what's gonna go on, and then you have like 3 hours to cram for something, and that's gonna be homework or studying for an exam. And so, I believe in keeping yourself busy is
Uh-huh.
really important, just because you get to focus a lot more. More people who aren't busy tend to procrastinate.
That is true.
So-
that is true.
And I've been noticing that with me before I got the job that I got recently.
Mhm.
I was procrastinating a lot, and I felt like I was in a stage in my life where I just wasn't advancing forward.
Like you weren't really working for something that had like longevity and like
Exactly.
ways to work your way
Exactly.
up.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So I wanted to hear a little bit about that as well, like as far as like what you do. So where did you start? What was like the title name for the job you had in the beginning, whether if it's leasing agent
Okay.
or not? And then how do you get to where you are right now?
Oh man,
That's a loaded question.
That's
Yeah,
gonna be a
yeah.
How long is this podcast gonna be? Like 2 hour long podcast?
It could be
No,
2 hours.
we're not doing that.
I think the longest one we've had is like an hour and change, like an hour. And some.
Yeah.
I should have ate some food. My stomach is growling. Okay. So let's see where to begin. So I got my real estate license when I was 18,
There you
straight out of high school, like over the summer between senior year graduation and freshman year. So I did that. I joined a real estate brokerage, and I ended up weirdly not liking it whenever I was 18, because I felt like I wasn't prepared. Dealing with people that were 40 years old trying to buy their first house, me being 18.
Yeah,
I
I'm trying to
just,
sell it to them.
it was trial and error, and I took the error. So, yeah, so after that, I kind of quit. Then I came to UT Austin, and that kind of pushed me a little bit. I was in an environment where it's kind of like New York, where you look around and you see hustlers everywhere. And so I found a guy named Ed. I don't know if you guys have heard of him, Lease with Ed. And so he kind of took me in under the rope. He was a leasing agent here, and he kind of taught me just how to find people, how to do leases, basically.
Like marketing yourself, putting yourself out.
Marketing, not only like the social media aspect, but also just how the whole process of that line of work
Yeah.
works, right? And so for, I want to say a year, okay, I also want to add, when I first came to UT Austin, I had 1.2 thousand followers
Okay.
on Instagram.
Let's circle back to that later to see how much you have right now.
Yeah, so-
we'll get to that later.
So I kind of want to talk about the process and be like, okay, so at this point I have this many followers
Okay.
and this and this. So yeah, when I first came to UT Austin, moved into Torrey, which at the time was a brand new apartment complex, I had 1.2 thousand followers, right?
Gotcha.
So then I became a leasing agent. I opened up my Lease with Leo Instagram account.
But now that account has like 1 point something.
1.6K, yes.
Yeah.
And that's all UT students.
Yeah.
So for me, that's crazy, because West Campus, 1.6 is like a lot.
A lot
of
people.
Like if you were to like walk down the street, also like there's some.
Yeah, and we'll get into that. Like I've had people ask me to take pictures with them while I'm walking around West
That's
Campus.
insane.
Back when I was in my prime, you know, when I was.
I mean, you're around right now, bro. I mean, yeah.
Not student wise, but yes, like long term in the job. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
Would they post it and just be like,
Yo, this is my boy. Yeah.
They'd just be like, "Bro, are you Lisa Lena? Can I take a picture?" I was like, yes, bro. Honestly, I was so excited whenever they would tell me. It only happened twice, the whole picture thing. But I did have like people asking me, "Are you Lisa Leo? Are you Lisa Leo?" Whether I was at 6th Street. Oh my God! One night I was at 6th Street, like 7 people,
That's
7 different people asked me.
And I'm sure like this happens too. Like whenever somebody's about to come up and talk to you and they like maybe stare you down across the bar or something, and you know that they know who you are, but they're trying to play off like, oh, hey, what's up, man? Like, talk to you, but like in reality, in your head, you're like, bro, come on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I honestly, I like it. I mean, just meeting new people in general, doing this type of stuff. Very generous for it, and all that stuff was like last year. That doesn't happen anymore. Like you see me walk around, it's just me, you know, and just me being me. But
yeah, going back to the whole thing, like you had your Instagram account, you were living in Torrey.
oh man, I was making videos
Oh wow.
in my living room. Yeah.
yeah, why do you think people,
Content creation.
why do you think people are like so recognizable of like a leasing agent? Like, what is the content creation that's like making them remember?
It's not only the content creation. I think it's also a lot of leasing agents are in spirit groups, or in fraternity sororities, and so I feel like people that are already in that type of niche environment of Greek life, they they already know each other. Like,
That is
if you
true.
see someone down the street, you've seen them on Instagram, right?
That is true.
And
Like,
so-
you see it's such a
Yeah. And so I feel like at one point I was like, okay, I can sign all my fraternity brothers, but after that, how am I gonna get clients, right? I was like, okay, I turned to social media for that.
Mhm.
And so I just started following people that, like, if you look at my following count on that leasing page, it's like I follow 4,000 people and I have like 1,600 followers. So
Yeah, the ratio is not great.
it's terrible ratio, but
But it
that's
works.
that's the way you get them to follow you, and that's how you get clients through that as well. And so that was the way I was able to just like keep on hustling because I kept getting people, friends of friends were telling them about me, and that's how I was able to like lease them out and stuff. So.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: like, I will gradually drop this question throughout the podcast, but like during that time, I don't know how much you were on top of your books and numbers,
Mhm.
but what was a month where you made like the most amount of money just from like leasing?
Oh man, I'll tell you a day.
Day. Okay, let's
A
hear
day.
it.
And I took advantage of pledge classes. You know.
Oh, yeah, just gotta like
you would have.
Lisa one day.
Yeah. No. Exactly. That's exactly what I did.
Verbatim, exactly.
Make an Excel sheet. You get all the guys to tell you who they want to live with, and then you bring them all on the same day, and then you just tour them around. You send them the same day. And I remember, I don't know if you guys know where the block is.
Yeah.
So
Wait, the block, there's two, right?
the one on 25th.
Okay.
West. Yeah. It's like right above. Yeah. So one day they had, I think it was like $40 or $80 off a month if you sign on this particular day.
Mm-hmm.
So I got my half of the pledge class, like 14 guys,
Yeah.
for like fall or spring, and I basically got them all to sign on the same day. So do the math, like that's $450 per person
$450 per person times 14.
times 14 in one day. I think it's like 6,000, something like that.
That's insane. Yeah, that's
6,300.
6,300.
6,300 in one day. The thing with that is I don't get paid until either they move in or until like 3 to 6 months down the line. Like last night I just got a paycheck for 1,000
You just
from like, and I already quit leasing. I'm not even doing it anymore.
So it's kind of like
I'm getting paid for it. though,
yeah,
from the
like
past,
an
you know.
income, a
It's kinda
passive
like
income.
putting it in like a bank account safe away because you get it and it's just saved over all those months instead of like blowing it.
It's basically money that I don't have and I have to wait on, you know. And
Yeah.
kind of it's like, but I'm fine with it as long as it comes in. I'm grateful for it, but what I'm not grateful for is the fact that I don't get paid for like 40% of them because they're all verbal agreements with the apartment complexes.
Oh, so
It's like a
they
handshake.
screw you over.
Yeah, they can screw me over if they want to.
Damn, if you
Yeah.
wanna name drop any apartment.
No, I'm not doing that. But they know who they are.
I'm sure. I mean,
Oh, yes.
that is kind of like fucked up. That like it's not binding for them. They'll be like, yeah, just work your ass off.
Yeah.
Get all these people to sign with us. We'll make money and just fuck you over. You can't do anything about it.
But that's life, man. Honestly, you're gonna get fucked on by like. Can we cuss?
Yeah.
Oh, we can.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if it was filtered or not.
Nah.
You get fucked on by companies, coworkers, just anything. And that's why you gotta be good at building relations so that doesn't happen. You know.
This
So-
is something like that I just thought about based on what you said.
Mhm.
Like, this is like the mentality that I have. Like, I have my friends, my family, like my girlfriend, and like all these people that are close to me.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, I love them and I care for them. But at the end of the day, like, you go to sleep alone, you wake up alone, and like, you live for yourself. But then obviously, it's important to build relationships. So, like, where do you find the balance where you're like, okay, I care for these people and I like them, but then at the same time, like, you gotta look out for, like, number one.
For yourself, yeah. And I mean, I think that really just comes down to how much time are you spending with them, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
I think the majority of it is like there's people in fraternity life just outside that just work and then they immediately go hang out with friends. But there's also people in fraternity life like us that we just tend to prioritize hanging out with friends more than we do like working out or just doing something productive, doing
Yeah.
homework. And so I think if you can just maintain a schedule that where you're putting enough time for yourself, then you are still keeping kind of like a healthy habit of just relationship with those people. You know, maybe whether that's seeing them like 2 to 3 times, maybe 4 times
Yeah.
a week, but then those other days you're doing stuff that is productive towards you,
Yeah.
right? Whether that's reading books, working like at a job,
Or like
whatever.
working out.
Just watching podcasts like we are right now. Anything, you know, so
Yeah, it's interesting too, and
It's
Logan can
not
comment about this as well. Like, starting a podcast is interesting because like I had random people text me saying, "Hey, like people I've never spoken to, like, hey, I like watch your podcast." And I personally don't rewatch this stuff. I edit it, but like I don't rewatch it. But then Logan likes to rewatch it, so like
I watched like bits and pieces of it, but
okay, you skim.
yeah, I watched probably like the first 10, 20 minutes, then jump back later, like 2 days later, watch like a little more of a piece, and I'm kind of in that process right now. But like he was saying, like the reach outs were crazy. I think we maybe got like 200 views, which isn't insane on the first one, but the people just reaching out like, hey, I watched that.
Yeah, the
like,
comments and everything,
people
getting
love
feedback from
doing
it, you know.
something, yeah.
No, I remember I was in a podcast. Break. Okay, I was in a podcast last year, and I honestly watched like 5 minutes of it, and then I was like, I'm done.
You can't do it.
was it with Josh?
Yeah, it was with Josh.
Okay,
yeah,
I heard he had a podcast.
Yeah.
Josh
Bedingfield.
I wanted to get him on too. He's in London right now. I wanted to get him on because he's doing Texas 4000.
And he's also on IFC. And
Oh yeah,
dude's grinding.
Yeah, he is, but yeah. So I wanted to get him on. I was like, bro, let's get you on. He's like, I get back in August. I was like, what are you?
I mean,
when he gets back,
you'll have guests
yeah.
throughout, so you'll be chilling.
But yeah, so how was it like after the podcast when you did it back then? And what was the reach like? Because I think he had like Jay Hartzell on there.
Did he actually?
That's what I heard. I don't know. I'm not gonna
Sure.
we can check out that. But
I think he had the crossing guard, Mike.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
he also had the Fetty Queen.
oh shit,
Queen Fetty.
Queen Fetty, yeah,
Fetty
shout out,
Queen.
yeah.
Shout out Queen Fetty. And then just some other influencers.
Yeah,
So-
but how was it like before and after that podcast, and where were you at that point in life? Like,
So at that point in life, I had just started my leasing business, and I think I did leasing for a year, right? A year and like 7 months, and so I was only like 3 months in. I had just released merch, which it's so corny. It's
did you
so
make money
corny.
though?
No.
Okay.
The point was not to make money. It was just to see people wear it, you know?
It
And just see it as a motivation factor, right? And it worked. Sold out in like 2 days, but honestly, yeah, I liked it. The podcast was, at that point in my life, a year ago, I wasn't as confident. Like right now, a year ago, me would not be able to do this right now.
Damn,
My jaw would be like dropping, like I'd be getting nervous, you know?
Yeah, it's like
you know that
fidgeting or
feeling?
something, yeah.
But I started taking public speaking classes outside of UT Austin.
Okay.
Called Toastmasters, and so it kind of brought me out of my shell. And they basically put you in front of a room, like you go up there, talk in front of 60 people, and you don't even know what you're gonna talk about.
They
That's the
tell you
scary
like
part.
last minute.
They tell you last minute. So like they'll give you a topic like talk about your biggest fear. You have 1 minute 30 seconds, right? You just go up there and just do it, you know. And when you throw yourself out there to like uncomfortable situations, you've heard of it before, you get better at whatever it is you're doing, like right now, you know. So
yeah, that's cool. What would you say is like the most impressive or like memorable response you've seen from somebody on that stage? It could be yourself, somebody else. Like, what's something that kind of?
I think the best feeling is not afterwards, but while you're doing it.
Yeah.
People giving you head nods. And
That's like the instant.
Ooh,
value.
that guy.
people giving you head nods, and they're like, yeah, I can relate to this, or yeah, he's doing good, or it's like there's specific people in that club that are really good at what they do when it comes to speaking, public speaking, and getting a head nod from them is like
Yes.
the ultimate, like, you made it, you know, or you're doing good, you know. So but I also had like people right after speeches just come up to me and be like, oh my god, I loved it, I can so relate to that as well, you did so good, I can learn from you, stuff like that. And
You inspire me.
yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Honestly, it's
sure.
really inspiring. It makes me want to do it more and more and more.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I was gonna ask, what do the words "lakeside love" mean to you?
Oh god, we're really moving on to this. Huh?
Yeah, let's hear.
So do you want to explain what Lakeside Love is?
With the limited knowledge that I
Limited
have,
knowledge?
Lakeside Love was a reality TV show that was created by film students at UT. They had a decent amount of budget, and it aired sometime last year.
It was literally like exactly a year.
Oh wow!
So
there you go.
a year ago, me was on Lake Travis right now in a mansion
Like you like
with
Snapchat memories.
9 random people. Like it was crazy, and it's called Lakeside Love. You can watch it on YouTube. I do not recommend watching it on YouTube because they made me look so bad in it. Honestly, they
Were
did.
you like an asshole?
I wouldn't say I was an asshole. It's just I tried. I'm more of a person that wants to bring drama to a like TV show to make it more interesting. Right?
Okay.
And so there was a few of us that they picked to like kind of bring in drama for the show.
So the producers told you.
They didn't exactly tell us, but they were like trying to make it interesting, right? And so that's exactly what we did. Some of us, and it wasn't scripted or anything. Like the whole thing was not staged.
Natural.
It was all natural, and that's what kind of made it awkward, you know. So it's
Yeah.
like, but it was cool because I got along with everyone, right? Except for one person, and that is the person I had beef with.
You can name drop.
I'm not gonna name
I
drop.
mean, people could watch the episode and they'll know.
She graduated already, so
Okay.
I already said it was
she. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
And so how like did they reach out to you? Reach out to them? Like how did that come about?
Yeah, so it's crazy. The producers were actually, one of them was my friend, Shubi, and she was basically like the host, the person that
Oh
was
yeah, like the one with the background
It's
pictures.
yeah.
So, yeah.
at the very beginning, and I didn't know the rest of the phone camera people, but basically they told me about this thing that they were doing, and they made an Instagram account for it, and I just stumbled upon it, filled in an application on like a Google form.
Google form. That's
And-
how you know it's organic.
Right? No, literally. And they made a TikTok about it because they were struggling to find people within UT Austin. And so at the time I was the only one, right?
So it was gonna be like a bachelor style. Like
Bachelor
one guy.
style, but they didn't have the girls yet at
Oh
that
shit.
point. And
Okay.
so they didn't have the girls or the guys. And so the whole concept of it was they were gonna have 5 girls, 5 guys on a lake house. It was like 3-story lake house. It was crazy with like a boat dock with its own boat.
Damn.
These girls were all like film students at UT Austin, and they basically threw in like $6,000, $7,000 to film it was like a 3 or 4 day, basically reality TV show
Yeah.
filmed by Austin students, and they made a TikTok and it got like 50,000 views on the TikTok,
Uh-huh.
and then people just started spamming making Google Forms.
Oh shit.
And so we got people from Texas State, we got people from A&M, we got people from Baylor, we got people from all around Texas.
But you were the OG, like.
I was
Why
UT
you-
Austin. All the girls were not from UT Austin, but the guys were all from UT.
Okay,
So-
I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Like, when you go to UT and like a girl from Texas State or a girl from a lesser college hits you, you know, like, essentially, like, this goes with guys and girls. Like, if someone new to UT, like, they're pretty valid.
I wouldn't say valid is the
That is
word.
insane.
I wouldn't. That's a crazy take. I disagree with that. I see where your point is.
No.
I see where your point is. No. Because hear me out.
Alright.
Hear me out. Because I come from UT Tyler.
No, but you got into UT.
I did
Like,
get into
you
UT.
were, like,
UT Tyler is also a D2 school, you know? And so I've seen both ends, I guess,
Okay.
of the rope. And there is a difference, trust me, there is.
Exactly, yeah.
But you can get along with people on both ends.
I'm not saying that. I think if you, okay, like let's say you have $1 million and you have to like, I'm making it very black and white, and obviously like it's not always great to do that, but essentially if you had to like choose between UT and a school like Baylor, I think was a great school, so I'm not kind of saying anything about that, but like UT and Texas State. Right?
Are we saying like if I lived in Austin? Because if I lived in Austin, I would pick someone from UT, you know?
Oh no, this is not even like dating. I think like if you were to choose,
Like after college, you could say too, like,
yeah, after
oh,
college.
did you go to Texas State? Because I know
That's
people have a
UT.
bad. I know people have a bad perception of Texas State people.
Uh-huh.
I get that. Yeah. I mean, I get it.
Understand why.
I would. I'm not gonna lie. I would prefer someone from UT Austin, or just any big school, right?
Yeah. fair.
Just because they understand not the culture, but they understand like being surrounded by that many people. You know.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of those people understand how it is living in a city, or whether it's just being talkative, sociable, because they're put in that environment, right?
Exactly.
So
And I think it just kind of also creates like not a personality, but it builds character in a lot of ways, and you are able to like learn and grow as a person when you live in the city. Like you said earlier, like UT is kind of like New York in a sense that UT is growing. Austin's growing as a city. If you like look at a side by side comparison. So being part of this culture definitely adds a lot to your character.
You know, it has the number one job market, housing market in the country.
That's insane.
That's really awesome, bro.
For real, it is an insane. And Logan, you said that's an insane statement to what I said earlier. Like,
that people who go to UT are just innately more valid.
Oh.
Like
I don't know. What do you mean by valid?
Yeah, like valid.
That's something I don't understand.
attractive.
That.
No attraction. All I'm saying is like
Overall,
if you had no say in like if you knew nothing about a person, right? And you're like, okay, like person A goes to UT, person B goes to Texas State, and if you had to like guess on who was like who's a better person in terms of quality and academics and like social life.
Well, I guess people who got into UT are just generally like it's a fact academically better because then they would have gone to UT.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, that doesn't determine the general value of anybody. I think.
Is this a hot take segment?
That was a hot take.
I think it is a hot take, but I mean, I'm just saying like I think
I can see what you're saying though, that if you had to gamble on the fact that the UT person would be overall better.
That's
Yeah,
all I'm saying.
I say we move on from this topic.
Let's move on. So kind of like be thrown back. When you're, last year living at Torre, like doing all this stuff, how did your current like sponsorship, I say, or your current like what you're wearing right now, right?
I'm not wearing it right now, but I would have. If you would ask, I would have brought the whole wardrobe.
The whole thing.
And I'm assuming you're talking about Polo Ralph Lauren.
Yeah. Okay. So how did that come about?
Okay. So, all right, 1.2K followers, right?
Back in the
1.2K. I did the leasing, got to like 2,000 or 2,000, 3,000. I just started following people. And then when I was at like 3,000 followers, this agency hit me up. And it's called Youth Marketing Connection for any of you out there watching. If you want to get sponsored by like Levi's, Polo Ralph Lauren, it's not easy, but you might as well just apply, right? And screw it. And they found me organically.
Okay,
Right?
there you go.
Sent me a DM. These people are from New York, so they have a New York office. I got on a Zoom call with them, 2 Zoom calls actually to be exact, and they were just basically interviews. And they were doing a Polo Ralph Lauren basically campaign. And so what they did is they picked one boy, one girl from, it was like a college student ambassador thing, because right now Polo Ralph Lauren, most of the people that buy it are like 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds, right? They don't really have that target for college students, and so they wanted to target college students in this case. And so they picked one girl, one guy from big universities. They were NYU, UT Austin, UCLA, and then
These are big names.
one, like somewhere in Florida, University of Florida maybe. I don't know.
Miami.
Yeah, so they picked like 10 people, and I was blessed enough to like get chosen for the UT Austin one. And basically, they would send me free clothes so I signed a 6-month contract with them.
Okay.
After
Was it
the
like a
whole-
binding contract or what was it?
Yeah, it was a binding contract.
Okay.
But I was so willing to do it. Are you kidding? I worked for
Okay,
Ralph Lauren. So I was on a 6-month contract with Ralph Lauren, and they, for 6 months, every 2 to 4 weeks, they would give me thousands of dollars worth of clothes. And I remember the first time they gave me a 3-piece. They gave me, they had like never before seen Polo Ralph Lauren collection. They sent us a link to it, and so it's stuff that hasn't come out for Ralph Lauren yet.
Yeah,
And so
it's exclusive.
They said, all right, we're gonna give you pick 5 outfits, and we're gonna pick the one that we want you. We're gonna ship to you.
Okay.
So I went through the entire website, just started matching. This took hours, by the way, because I was like,
Yeah.
if I'm gonna get $1,000 worth of clothes, I'm gonna spend hours trying to like figure out what I'm gonna.
Which one's gonna be? Yeah.
Exactly. And so the first outfit was, I have it pinned on my Instagram, but it's like an all blue outfit.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Colored stripes and everything, and I didn't know whether to go for an expensive outfit or something I would use every day.
Mhm.
And so
That's fair.
at that point I tried to find a middle point. And so every 2 to 4 weeks I was just getting clothes, every Instagram post he would send me $600 for.
Whoa, that's insane. So what's stopping you to like from making posts like every other day?
I wasn't able to. They said I could, but they wouldn't pay me because. So the way it works is they have a timeline where they give me a specific week to make a post for it. Right?
Gotcha.
And so let's say it's like May right now. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 posts, one in early May and one in late May, and then June comes around. I'm gonna do one in early June, one in late June. I did that for 6 months, and I was just getting free clothes like left and right.
Yeah.
And getting paid for it too. And I was like, oh, this is sweet. And then by the time the contract ended, I was like, what just happened? You know?
Yeah, that's like $7,200.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
That's insane.
And
you get free clothes on top of that?
The only requirement was post once or twice on your Instagram story of you in the clothes or unboxing it, which is like 5-second video.
And it was stories, not even
Instagram stories, yes. And then
yeah.
and they also offered bonuses. Like if I did more stories than other people in the program, I would get like $100 for that month or whatever. And so yeah, they would pay me for that stuff. And the only thing I didn't like about it, like I'm telling you, $600, you get free clothes.
Just great. Yeah.
It's great, amazing. I didn't get to pick what pictures I got to post. So it's like I could have this like 10 out of 10 picture that I love that I think is a cover photo, but if the people that work at Ralph Lauren don't like it and they decided they don't approve it, and I send them like a portfolio of them. I send them like 10 pictures, different ones. They get to pick which ones go first, second, and third. You know.
Damn. So like that not like really creative, but like that say on what goes on your feed.
Yeah, and I archived like half of my Ralph Lauren
I got
on my Instagram. I already removed them because I was like, I have better ones that I could be posting, but they wouldn't let me. So, and so at that point, I was at 3,000 followers. With the Ralph Lauren, I got to around like, I want to say like 7,000-8,000.
Whoa.
Because some of those 7, 8, 9,000, like some of those pictures were getting like 200, 300 shares. They were getting like
by who?
By just random people.
Just random people.
I don't know. They were just sharing it. And I remember I had 3,000. I did my first Ralph Lauren post and it got like 1,600 likes. And
that is an insane.
I've never had like anything past like 1,000 before.
Yeah.
And so after that point, I was like, oh man, this is sweet.
Oh yeah, I mean.
And then the contract ended, and I was like, fuck.
So you're not like currently affiliated?
Not anymore now.
Did you like reach out like, hey guys, I really enjoyed the program?
I'm not gonna lie, I did because I was like, oh, this is so sweet. Can I do it again? They just didn't reply back, but it happens.
Yeah, man, you got the bag, you got the clothes, the followers. I mean,
Bless. I lost half the clothes. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, you had to give them back?
No, I lost them.
Where'd you lose them?
So the thing with me is I could put this water bottle right here, and then I could put it down here, and I would forget I put it down there. 2 seconds after I did it.
You're like, oh yeah, I'll be getting free clothes anyways.
I lose all the stuff I get. This is the second time I've gotten this because I lost it like the first week I bought it. And
Logan has a funny story about that too.
No, yeah, I've been losing stuff too. I had like this.
So
yeah. What kind of?
It's just a fossil. I gotta get a better one though.
No,
I figured as long as I have a watch, I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah, I think it definitely adds character to like.
Yeah.
Yeah, Logan, what the fuck?
I was gonna say
like with the whole Ralph, I always forget I say Polo Ralph Lauren.
Oh yeah.
I like saying Ralph Lauren better.
Ralph Lauren.
Nicer.
I feel like it's kind of like a tongue twister, like Ralph Lauren.
Yeah.
But okay, so let's reveal your current follower count. What is it at?
So it's at 30,000 something, and 30,200 and
84.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna tell you like I liked how you told us you started at 3K. Joined with the Polo Ralph Lauren, got an extra 7K, 8K.
Yeah, what is it?
What's your timeline? Like, did this?
Oh yeah,
this surge. Did this?
So what was it? Fall 2021. I got into UT Austin. That's when I had the 1.2.
Okay.
I did the lease with Leo after my fall semester. So 6 months later, I got to like 2.5K, 3,000 something like that. Polo Ralph Lauren was another semester after. So this was actually exactly a year ago. I had, I want to say 7,000 followers.
Okay.
Exactly 1 year ago, I had like during the polo thing, I had 7,000 followers, and then the other 23K I actually got from TikTok. Yeah.
Damn.
I got from TikTok.
That's a.
So that's like another thing. Like in TikTok, do you post like leasing stuff or what's like the concept?
See, that's what I was gonna do. I was thinking, I was like, man, I could get. I'm not gonna get clients if I do leases on TikTok because that
It doesn't convert.
TikTok just goes everywhere. Like, if you were to look at my TikTok right now, it would be like people from New Zealand watching it, people from Australia. Like, it's not specifically UT Austin. So I was
Gotcha.
like, I'm gonna make content for just for fucks. Just,
Okay.
you know, just
So
for
what
fun.
do you make on TikTok?
So I was scrolling because I was like, okay, man, my issue was like, okay, I'm gonna make TikTok content, but I also want to get Instagram followers from it, you know?
Mhm.
So I was like, because if I make TikTok, like, if you see someone down the street, whatever, some rando, and you meet them, get to know them, become friends with them, they're not gonna follow you on TikTok. TikTok
Yeah,
is
it's like
like
weird. Yeah.
TikTok's just like for your friends, you know,
Yeah.
to follow your close friends, best friends, your family members,
Yeah.
whatever. People from Instagram, like,
Nah,
well,
yeah,
a rando will
Instagram.
follow you on Instagram. Someone you don't know from a spirit org is gonna follow you on Instagram just because they found you, right?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, how can I find content that is going to translate from TikTok to Instagram, right? And so I was like, okay, I just started scrolling, researching. I was like, okay, manifestation content.
Yeah.
I was like, manifestation content, it's gonna work.
Mhm.
And at first it didn't work.
But then you manifested it into existence.
And what I mean by manifest is like just like good quotes, just like so like I would basically like lip sync. It's so corny,
It's
so
one of those
basically-
things where, like,
but it works. I would lip sync like a trending audio, and I look so dumb in it. Please don't go watch it.
We'll just like edit it right here.
Yeah. I would basically lip sync an audio, and then I would put a quote, and it would basically say like, "Oh, you're gonna have a good day tomorrow if you like this TikTok, right?" And so I did that for like a month, and I started getting followers from it. Like I did that for a month, got like to 10,000 followers from like a
Damn.
500 follower account, and they got a lot of likes because a lot of these people apparently want to have a good day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right.
Who does not?
So, exactly. And so I was telling myself, I was like, okay, in the caption I'm putting like this TikTok video and you'll have this happen to you. Why don't I do like this TikTok video, comment and follow my Instagram, and then you'll have a good day tomorrow.
And $7,500 on top of
Dude,
that.
that's insane.
You'll have a
I
good
always
day.
like those. So,
Or-
like, holy shit.
Or like this video, comment, follow my Instagram, and then I would be like, and you will be in a relationship in May or in June.
I actually didn't know that.
It's just stuff like that.
Holy shit.
You gotta. I was trying to target people that, I guess, more like the relationship type thing. Because a lot of people like go through heartbreaks a lot. A lot of people, you know, it
Yeah, it
happens.
happens,
They
yeah.
they get played a lot of that stuff, and so
Like they get played. I don't get played. What is that?
they need a support system, and I think my TikTok brought that to them.
Yeah.
And so I started doing that, and I kid you not, the first month I was getting like 10K to 100K views, and then just out of nowhere I did one. I don't know what it was about it. It got 1 million, and then 2 days later the next one got like 3 million.
That's insane.
1 day later, the next day after that 3 million, 8 million.
Jeez.
Wow.
And then I just started getting like millions on millions on millions every single day for like a week.
Okay.
That's
we
actually
really
so smart because you always like those when you come across them.
Yeah.
You never think like who's on the other side
Yeah.
of that doing
That
that.
is true.
Because I always just hit the little like. I'm like, yeah, sure, I want a good mate. Like, I'll hit like,
You know,
and then scroll on, but like
Exactly, and a lot of these
Wow.
people really want to apparently manifest that stuff, and so they go to my Instagram and they follow me.
That's
And
That's
what I love about it is that they're actual real followers, because
Yeah.
I can tell because they comment on my Instagram posts, and they like I get likes on my Instagram posts.
it converts.
Before I started doing the TikTok, I would get like 800 average 800 likes. Now I average 2,000 plus,
That's insane.
right?
And for the record, I think like the more followers you have, the less your follower to like ratio will be. Like in
Yeah.
the beginning, if you have 900 followers, like those are probably like your homies from high school and stuff, and then you post something and I'll get maybe like 400 likes at most. But then the higher the number of your followers are, the less the ratio is.
I agree with that. I also think it's the content you put out.
Oh yeah.
Like for me, it's like people are following me, yes, but they followed me that one time. Are they following me for my Instagram content? Not really, right? But there will still be some of those people who will like my stuff just because they see it on their feed.
Oh, I remember this guy.
Yeah,
I would have a good day.
This is a good. This is a good picture, bam. You know.
Yeah. That's fair.
Stuff like that, and a lot of it really does have to do with content. But yeah, you're right. The more followers you have,
the less the ratio.
you're gonna get more likes. But as time goes on, if you're not growing in followers, the disparity is just gonna keep on.
Yeah, like I
increasing.
mean, like Kylie Jenner is like the most followed person. I don't know if it is, but like she doesn't get like fucking 100 million likes every picture. Like there's just no way.
A lot of them are
consistent.
bots. I mean,
Oh yeah, that is true. She does
Yeah,
have a lot of
so-
bots. But for the record too, the reason why I didn't even know about TikTok was because it's nowhere in your bio or anything. Like on your bio, you have like.
oh, I switched it recently because I just got I just started going hard into like the real estate thing, and so I switched it into like, oh, get on a Zoom call with me, whatever. But
Okay.
if you would have seen my Instagram account like 3 months ago, I would say you would have seen the TikTok, and
yeah.
everything. on there.
Because I feel like we try to do our due diligence in terms of like looking into what you do, but like the TikTok thing, like that caught me off surprise.
Yeah. So yeah. So I mean, a lot of people. I feel like a lot of people that are close to me know about it, but a lot of people that aren't close to me really
Yeah,
don't know
and
about it.
I wanted to like kind of talk about that too. I remember meeting you last year. Do you remember how we met?
Is it Cadence or?
Yes. So I was walking Cadence's dog
I
Kai.
remember. Outside
Yeah.
of
Chick-fil-A.
Target or Dobie?
No, I think it was
Oh,
like
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, no,
I was sitting
okay.
down. Yeah.
And then you were like, "Yo, is that like Cadence's dog?" And I was like, "Yeah." at that point, I think I was spending a lot of time with Kai because I don't know, I was single and like I love dogs and we had a lot of time in my hands, like might as well. But I remember we met like that, and then we have a lot of common friends as well. I feel like in UT, when you're in like the Greek life circle or any like social circle, you know of people or you know people that know. Like it's just kind of like very connected.
Yeah, honestly, and it's a lot different between other universities because if you go to A&M, you have to Uber everywhere and nobody lives close to each other. Here on West Campus, I love it because you have 7 streets and they're all interconnected between one big square.
Yeah.
That's West Campus, and that's where Greek life is happening. That's where everyone's living at, and literally, I could go right next door to the apartment building to my left and just go to my friend's apartment. You know.
Yeah.
And so everyone knows everyone because we're all in a tight little space, and it's just awesome.
Very
That's why I love
positive.
UT Austin. So
Same. But I wanted to ask you yesterday. I saw you guys were doing some photo shoot for the company you work for. I believe.
Oh man,
So
that
how
was a
what
sweet
is
gig.
that? Yeah, like
That was a
how's
sweet
that
gig.
going?
So after leasing, I was in a point in my life where I was like, okay, man, I've been doing this for a year and some months, and I was like, I need to progress. I'm about to graduate next year. What can I do that's gonna prepare me for that? So I went to this website called Elite 25, and it basically has like the top 25 realtors in Austin, and it has like a mix of developers, lawyers who are also realtors, and they just sell these 5, 10, 15 million dollar houses like I was telling you. Which, by the way, they also sell like $50 million. Did you know you can sell $50 million houses in Austin?
I didn't even know there's that like expensive.
Yeah, there is, but they're not made known to the public. That's
Wow,
the thing. So
that's insane.
Wait,
that's a good little bit right there because
Why?
they're NDAs, non-disclosure agreements.
Yeah,
Why are they
so-
under those?
Because think about it, if it's made, the sellers, they don't want to make it known public. They want to keep it private because they understand that these big buyers, they're not gonna find it through a fucking
Like
like
Zillow or-
Instagram or Zillow or anything like that. Like they know how to get the buyers. The agents know how to get the buyers. They have buyers from like the agents that I work with at the office right now, which our office is located on Lake Austin.
Oh,
So
wow.
I step out of my office,
It's
the whole
just
lake
like-
right there.
Yeah.
$20 million houses like everywhere. Boom, boom,
That's
boom.
insane.
I can just like look out and
So
so
it's
nice.
like the
But,
valley that you see across
Yeah.
the board.
but yeah, back to how I got the gig. I was on my grind at this point. This was 5 months ago, like January 2023. I got on this website and it has like their email, their phone number, and everything. And I just literally watched like 2 YouTube videos on how to make a script about how to sell myself. Basically, a resume but like in a paragraph
Yeah.
that someone's willing to read. Take like 30 seconds of the day and just read it. I went for like 4 hours and just copy pasted into like 50 people within that website, and within like a month or two, I got like, I want to say 20 interviews with like these high elite people in Austin.
Wow.
I got lunch with them. I got Zoom calls with them. There was one time I was in Fort Lauderdale and I was for spring break, Florida, and I got on a Zoom call in the middle while my friends were at the club and stuff, just partying. I got on a Zoom call for the job that I'm working at right now.
That's insane.
And so it was so worth it, but it was like an hour and a half long, that Zoom call, and I was like, is this really worth it? And
like you're missing out on the spring break.
It was, but I did that, got lunch with everyone, and man, I went through all these interviews, and I was like, which one am I gonna pick? Like some of these didn't want me, I'm gonna be honest, because I'm just a college student. What do I offer, right? And so they were looking for people that were already experienced, and so the ones that I did an interview with, which was the best option I could have gone for, because it was full of like the number one agent in Austin, Texas, real estate agent, sits next to me in that office.
Crazy.
He's my boss, the number one agent. I work for Moreland Properties. Eric Moreland is my boss, and he sits right next to me. And so it's crazy. Like, he's always on the phone, emailing. Like,
he's a busy guy.
Busy. Like, you will never see him. Like, he's always doing something. He'll pick up 2 phone calls if he has to, like, same time. Always emailing, always on the radar. So it's crazy being around those people and just being able to listen in and just learn from them. And the cool thing about it is, not only am I learning from the best of the best, but everyone in that office is the best of the best.
Yeah, they're just surrounded by
5 of those people from that website I was talking about all work in that that little office that we work in Austin, which is unheard of. And And so I go check out these houses as my job. I'm an assistant for him, right, at the moment. And I go show these houses, and like, man, like last week, and I'm only going to talk about the ones I can talk about, which is not like the $20-30 million ones.
They're the NDA ones.
Those are the NDA ones, but the $10 million ones are still crazy. Those are made public. Man, I want to go show this house. It has a basketball court. It has a tennis court in the backyard. It has a 3-hole golf course. Like a whole, like, imagine how many acres you need for that.
That's insane.
3 stories, man cave, cinema, studio room. It just has everything.
Yeah.
Stuff you wouldn't even like think would be possible to be in a house is in a house.
Yeah.
I wouldn't tell you. I'm not gonna tell
you.
But that's just crazy stuff, you know.
And this is kind of like, this question is kind of between leasing and what you do right now, and then your current job. What's like the single most amount of money you've made from a sale? Whether you said like the signing the lease of like
I think the most is leasing houses. I haven't really yet sold a house yet. That's one of my goals for senior year, is to sell like a 1 million plus house, and I'm gonna be able to do it with the help of these agents. But as of right now, I've only like leased houses, and so the most money that I've made is like 6.3K in one day.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Leasing.
Hopefully, if we down the line when we get you back on here, you'll be like, so the 3% commission rate from a $15 million home.
Oh man, that's gonna be this year. So end of this year. So we'll get back on the podcast, and I'll go through that entire thing, like little update on my life. Part 2 is still going around. So.
And I wanted to ask you, so like recently on Instagram they have you're able to purchase your blue check mark. You have a blue check mark.
Mm-hmm.
Did you buy it or did they give it to you?
What do you think? Well, actually, you go first, Logan. What do you think?
I think.
Be honest.
Okay, he has like 30K followers.
Okay, did he have it before?
I don't know. I just
don't remember.
After like we started the podcast, I reached out to him. I followed him on Instagram. I'm like, oh shit. I think we probably followed each other before too, but I like looked at it. I'm like, here's a check mark, but he also has like 30K followers.
I'm gonna just go with you bought it.
Okay. What do you think? I feel like the audience right now is like, oh, this is like their favorite part of the video.
Yeah, I would say you probably bought it too.
Okay. It's written now, saying I bought it, yeah.
Okay, there we
I
go.
bought it. A lot of it had to do with I'm gonna be turning my real estate or my Instagram account into showing like these $10 million mansions, and so I'm planning to do that within the next month. Right now, I'm hiring videographers and stuff, which we can also like if we ever do this podcast again, I can just like talk about that stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm in the process of doing that, and so the reason for getting the blue check mark is for clients that I do have down the line to know that I am
Who you are.
a realtor, you know.
Yeah.
Because a lot of my buddies who are realtors, they all got blue check marks, whether they're in Austin, New York, Miami, they're all doing that. And I think the reason they did the blue check mark is really to show that you are an entity that is either for business. Because there's a lot before the blue check mark, you would only get verified if you had articles written about you.
That is true.
Right.
Or like sometimes the athletes got verified.
Yeah, athletes get verified, and I had articles written about me. Like I'm on Spotify. I've been on a few newspapers, but somehow and this was I think last time I actually tried to get a verified was like January 2023.
Mm-hmm.
So at the time I did have 30K followers, but it wasn't enough, honestly. But my goal also for the end of the year, hopefully beginning of next year, is to have like a genuine verified, which I do think is gonna happen. So.
Yeah. I mean, shit. That's how we manifest, right?
Like this, and you will get.
Yeah, guys, like this video, and Leo will be verified for real.
Instagram should be up.
Okay. Do you wanna go into our next segment with?
Yeah. So, depending on when this releases, you guys will already know about this segment that we started in previous podcasts. It's this or that, putting the name of the podcast to function.
Yeah.
So super basic. You have this, you have that. You say you
it's
like
pretty
this or that.
self-explanatory.
Yeah.
So we can just jump into the first one.
Okay. Which one would you say is more impressive? Being successful with a degree or without?
I mean, I feel like that's an obvious answer, to be honest. And my answer, and you guys can have your own opinion. I think having a degree is more impressive, and I can go into like why I think that is. But like having my real estate license, I already know what I want to do after college, and that doesn't require a degree.
Of course. Yeah.
But why am I doing it, right? Well, obviously the connections. I want to obviously live the college student life, but at the end of the day, I want to show proof that I can stay disciplined to something from start to finish for 4 years and show that I can put in the work to get that college degree. Okay. And I think it's more of a status symbol that it's an accomplishment. It's like when you when an NBA player wins like an MVP award or NBA championship. That's for me. I feel like for the average person, that's getting a college degree for them.
Interesting. So. What's your take on it?
So I would say, I think just objectively speaking, reaching success without going to college is a little more impressive. But I would also say if you take two people, both worth 10 million net worth, one went to college and one didn't, those two 10 millionaires are just going to go off in a party, not even thinking about who was more impressive on their way there. So I think it's one of those things where it's like, regardless, success is going to be impressive. Like, it's more for you. Like, if you want to go to college to become more intelligent, you should do that.
Okay, can I add to that?
Yeah.
I think it's more impressive that someone that does have a college degree would be more successful because they go in with the mindset that they're going to go into a career that, like, let's say becoming a lawyer or a pharmacist or a nurse, whatever, that already has a set salary or wage, right? How are you going to become successful if you have this set thing that is kind of keeping you from doing that, right? You gotta find ways around that if you're getting your college degree. And for a lot of people that get their college degree, they come in with this mindset, but throughout that process, they kind of find ways to become successful outside of just that one career. As opposed to someone that doesn't go to college, they're already going in with this entrepreneurial mindset. For them, it's risk it all. You either risk it all or you become a bum, right? And for them, that's why a small amount of entrepreneurs actually become successful because they're willing to take that risk. Yes, that is very impressive, but for me, it's more impressive for someone that is trying to go into something that society is telling them to go to, and then finding a way to kind of finding other ways to maximize how much they're gonna make and how to become successful.
Yeah, using what everybody says is supposed to work, which is getting a degree, and then you get there, not a lot of people are able to make it work the way people told them they were, and then somebody like you comes in and maximizes the way that they were supposed to. So that's what you're saying, right? It's like impressive
that you're able to like. It's kind of like being put in this like limited. Okay, like if you're going into I don't know, chemical engineering, you're gonna suffer through 4 years, but then you're gonna make a lot of money, and that's all it is. But then where you are, you're like able to. Actually, we didn't even mention your major. What's your major?
My major is HDO, which Human and Mental Organizations, and minoring in real estate. Which, by the way, those McCombs classes are kicking my ass.
Yeah, McCombs is
oh my
no
god,
joke.
Especially for a transfer student like me, guys. Like, I passed finance, I passed accounting and everything. I'm about to be taking real estate classes, but like those classes were hard.
Oh yeah,
They
accounting.
were hard.
And one thing is like accounting. I know for sure because I'm also minoring in McCombs, and the accounting exams are given by the department. So even your professor doesn't know what's going to be on the test. The department decides. And you could have a good professor, a bad professor, but at the end of the day, the professor doesn't have the say on what gets on the exam, which is everyone. And let me say my take on the whole education thing.
Okay.
I think just objectively, like being successful without a degree is more impressive because you don't like a lot of people that come to UT Austin or any college really like they have this mindset that they're gonna go to college and they use that degree and then be this. Like it's very transactional. You put an X, you get out Y. But then, and sometimes it does happen, but then a lot of people realize after they graduate, whatever they majored in is not what they like, or they switch their majors and all these different things end up happening. So it just ends up being useless. So then they have to have that entrepreneurial mindset, and then they go into it. Whereas like someone without a degree right off high school, or not even a high school degree maybe, like for them to put themselves out there and be successful,
take that gamble.
yeah, and it is really hard. And like with like college students, I think if you have a degree in anything, some jobs just really say like bachelor degree.
Civil engineering at UT, come with us.
Yeah.
So, are you impressed by what Elon Musk has done up to this point? Just it's a yes or no.
Yeah, sure. I'm very.
Are you impressed by what Bill Gates has done up to this point?
Yeah.
Both of those people got college degrees, and they're also the most successful, arguably, people in the world. And I don't think success you can really like pinpoint like, oh, this person started off with like $1 million. I guess you could say like Donald Trump, right?
Yeah.
But it's like a lot. I think it is very impressive for someone who starts from nothing to go to where they are right now. So like someone who comes from a poor background to become successful. I think for me, even without a college degree, that's more impressive than someone who does get a college degree, right?
I agree.
But I guess there's so many ways that you can look around it. Like if there's someone who does come from a stable family income, and they become successful without a college degree, it's like, for me, a college degree, someone who does get a college degree and finds a way around it to become successful, for me, that's more impressive.
I agree.
There's different ways of viewing it.
It is very hard to make it black and white and say which one is like this or that, right?
Yeah. But like moral of the story, two successful people aren't gonna look like who was more impressive on their way there. They're rich, you know, they're just like, so I think that kind of just settles that for any person who's successful.
Yeah.
Do you want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, it's so Lakers versus Warriors. For y'all that aren't basketball fans, they're in a 7-game series right now to see who.
Maybe when this comes out.
Hopefully,
hopefully
the people watching are NBA fans.
hopefully.
So I'm very unopinionated on this, so I'll let you guys like talk about that.
So who do you take, Lakers or Warriors? I already kind of know this, but
I got Curry, Green, and Clay, and
Curry.
Poole.
Curry
and Wiggins.
I
got Warriors, baby. Come on. Come on.
Alright, and who do you think? Who do you think on that team is?
Back-to-back champions.
Back to back.
They're gonna get back-to-back. Yeah.
You think Curry could do it over Bron right now in the mode that Bron is?
Did you not see him put 50?
Yeah. Hey, did you not see Bron's team as a whole, not just player, drop over 40
I
40-game
did
difference.
see that. But who won the championship last year?
Oh, we're talking about right now, though.
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking right now?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
what we're
okay.
talking about right now.
Listen, I'll give you, at the time of this recording, Lakers won game 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think
4 points.
I think if the Warriors can win one of the next 2 games, they're winning the series. Just because the longer you play against the Warriors, the harder it's gonna be game 6, game 7. And they've shown that. They've shown that.
I agree with that because Curry has that clutch gene. If you get him in the seventh game,
Like 3-3.
he's dropping the game winner 3. So I can agree with that, but it's not gonna get to that, bro.
Oh.
It's not gonna get to that. The last time we saw Bron and
Are
Curry.
you sure? Are you sure AD's not gonna get injured?
Hey, if he gets injured, then there's a big asterisk next to that championship. But if he doesn't get injured, I think I see it.
All right. If he doesn't get injured, then I'll call it a 50-50. If he doesn't get injured.
No,
Okay.
yeah.
Hey, I'll take that. I'll take that.
All right. Let's move on to the next one.
Rapid fire.
Yeah, this is like kind of like to close it off. We'll do the rapid fire segment, and essentially like we just like say something and then you give us your opinion on it. I wanted to start out with some like Greek life here at UT Austin.
Controversial.
Yeah, I mean we're in Greek life,
It's
right?
very
Like,
toxic. I feel like, no.
I would say so. I think it is very cultured, and a lot of the bigger Greek life organizations have built-in culture to them. So if you're not part of that culture and like you're not from that background, you come in try and be a part of it. It's hard to integrate yourself. But what do you mean by toxic for Greek life?
Oh God, was that the question you were gonna ask me?
No, it was gonna be rapid fire.
No, rapid fire. Ask me the question you were gonna ask me. I don't want to go into that.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. So I'm just gonna name drop like some sororities, and then you can just. Like,
Oh my God.
you can just go.
One word.
One word.
Like,
Just
I'm gonna need some water for this.
yeah.
One word for sororities?
Yeah, just like be like, okay,
Oh
I like
my
them,
God.
or they're lame.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna start with AZD.
Is it does it have to be quick answers? Honestly, yeah, preferably yes.
Alright. AZD.
Crazy.
AKO.
Crazy.
Zeta.
Chill.
Chill.
They're chill.
Okay. And
I have a lot of friends in Zeta. They're really chill girls that I can get along with. So.
How about KD?
Friendly. Very friendly. Yeah.
Okay. You're right. You guys have a lot of like sweethearts from KD as well. And how about some spirit groups here? I mean, Greek life and spirit groups here intermingle a lot.
Yeah.
So, like Darlings.
I have a few friends in Orleans. I would say they're cool people. A few of them have broken a few of my friends' hearts.
Damn. Darlings are very hearts. Okay, sweethearts.
Sweethearts. Oh, pretty. They're pretty. Yeah.
Pretty. Okay.
Yeah. I feel like that's like the conversation that a lot of people get from them.
Sweethearts.
When it comes to spirit groups.
Yeah, I mean, I have friends in most of the spirit groups and some of the sororities, so I try to have good opinions on them, but, yeah, I mean, sweethearts are lovely people. Alright, I'm just gonna
Now just random.
okay, Andrew Tate.
Oh, controversial as fuck.
Very controversial.
Very controversial.
That's a non-controversial answer.
Yeah, dude, I'm trying to avoid anything.
Yeah.
I think the thing with Andrew, he's so controversial that you have 50% people that are for him and 50% against him.
Yeah.
And
There's
they
no
will
middle,
come after you.
and I will always take the middle ground, right?
Okay,
I
that's
will
fair.
always
The politician.
I'm not. The last thing I want right now is to get canceled.
That is true.
Even if it is by 300 people, 500. Maybe if it gets like fucking 10,000 views, like.
We'll see where this goes. I mean, yeah, we hopefully over the summer we will have a lot of episodes and a lot of people are free during the summer. So
Sweets.
yeah,
Not in Austin though.
better not be, right? You have any other rapid fire?
You want to just go back and forth? Chick-fil-A or Cane's?
I'm Chick-fil-A all day.
Chick-fil-A
Chick-fil-A all day, baby. Except on Sundays.
And
Okay, that's
Sundays
so
all the
close.
time I study for Cane's for.
Canes? I don't know. I'm a big Canes fan. I can't really speak on that.
I don't know.
The chicken is just so much better on Canes.
It's It's not only just the fact that I like Chick-fil-A so much, it's the fact that I have a variety to choose from, whether I want grilled chicken, nuggets, the fries are so good, so much better than Cane's. I think the Cane's, the only thing it has going for itself is the sauce, let's be honest. And hot take I have is Chick-fil-A sauce is almost as good as Cane's sauce. And then you have all the variety of Chick-fil-A on top of it.
Yeah, they don't have too many items.
Oh,
They have 8 different sauces to choose from.
Yeah.
Damn, y'all are over here like bombarding
I'm
me.
telling you.
No,
bro.
that's fair. I just think like I'm a pretty straightforward guy. I can eat chicken fingers every day.
You look at the menu and you're like, two finger combo, 3-finger combo, or 4-finger box combo.
I'm gonna be a little crazy today. I'm gonna get the box combo. No, that's fair.
Coleslaw? No, let me get the bread.
No, exactly. Always substitute the coleslaw with the bread or the fries or figure it out. But I think we hit all the points. Do you have anything else you want to add? Anything you want to promote? Put yourself out there.
Last time I was on a podcast, Josh, he asked me like, do you have any advice for people watching it? And I have this quote, and I wanted to say it in this podcast, but I just couldn't think of it. But it's I'd rather regret the things I did than the things I never tried. I feel like there's a lot of college students out there that they go through college and the 4-year process, and they don't really know what they want to do in life.
That's fair.
My roommates are prime examples of that.
Damn, they're gonna watch this.
No, it's okay. I love them to death. But
Yeah,
they're
for
chill as
sure.
fuck. But a lot of students they don't know what they want to do, and a lot of it is because they either haven't worked a job before in their life, or they've taken like Chick-fil-A jobs or just anything like that. Just try something new. Try as many things as possible, and the only way to figure out what you want to do in life and be happy is by trying and then seeing if you like it, and then if you don't like it, drop it. Try something new, right?
Yeah, you gotta put yourself out there. You know.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to find what I wanted to do in life, and it makes me happy, and that's why I was like, yeah, let's do this podcast because I'm gonna be able to talk about it.
Oh yeah.
And so
yeah, we were glad to have you on anytime of the day, man.
yeah, so that's my advice for that. As far as plugging myself, go follow me on Leo Zapata on Instagram with 2 Z's, LeoZZAPATA.
We'll have a little thing on the.
Can you actually put that?
Yeah.
No way, that'd be sick. So yeah, so
follow them on there, and yeah, thank you again for coming on, man.
thank you so
Appreciate it.
much.
All right.